Has he gone? Right. Hello. Straight away, let me pass you over to somebody who's really a household name in England. Somebody you love and treasure very much. Good evening, and we have that on good authority. It's 4 months now since the election. So now let's look at what the current party politics are of the various parties. First, what is the current Labour policy? Here it is. There you know. And now the Liberal Party policy. Thank you, sir. Thank you. And finally, the current Conservative policy. For the first time on BBC TV, the full frontal male nude.
For those who wish to go to there, please take a look on the true page to Squire.
Anybody sitting here, darling?
Hello? Here is an announcement. Will Mrs. Cream go to the station master's office?
I see the trains are still running late, eh?
Hello? Will Mrs. Cream please go to the station master's office?
Did he say Mrs. Cream?
Mrs. Cream, yes.
I wonder who she is.
It's me.
Hello? Testing, testing. Nice, that's better. Now, calling Mrs. Cream. Come at once to the station master's office. Urgent.
You'd better go, Mrs. Cream.
I know, he's calling me, I know.
Hello. This is the station master. Mrs. Cream, whom I am very anxious to see. Come to my office.
You'd better go, Mrs.
No!
Listen, will Mrs. Cream, to whom I am very deeply attached, come to my office, the station master who understands you.
He understands you, Mrs. Cream.
Understands me? Look!
Marks and Spencer. Oh! Well, perhaps he wants to say he's sorry for clouting you.
I'm sorry for clouting you, Mrs. Cream! Please, please come to the station master's office. Darling, if you don't come, I'll cancel the 8:29 to Leeds.
Here, that's my train. If he cancels that, I'll miss Easter in Leaston.
I am not going till he sings our song.
One alone to be my own.
He's singing it. He's singing
No,
it.
no, that is not our song.
Oh.
That is his song. Our song is yesterday.
Yesterday?
Yesterday. All my troubles seemed so far away.
Well, look, I'll go and ask him to sing it, because I don't want to miss that train to Neeson. I mean, if I miss that...
Hello, I'm in his room now. He's in orifice, but he's not here. So I'll sing it for you. Yesterday. Oh, my trouble seemed to far away.
Hey, what are you doing in my office? What are you doing here?
I'm singing yesterday, sir.
Never mind what you were doing yesterday. What are you doing here today?
You don't understand. I was singing the song yesterday for Mrs. Cream.
Mrs. Cream.
I said something wrong.
Mrs. Cream, you swine.
Yeah?
How dare you come between Mrs. Cream and myself? How dare you? Swine, you took out between Mrs. Cream and Darling, well, that's 18 we've done this week. Same time tomorrow. Hey, darling?
Oh, dear. He's got a dog in there.
Hello. Here is a special announcement.
Oh, dear.
The 8:29 to Neaston is cancelled. Permanently.
We're running a bit late tonight. And now, here's an old joke, told in its original setting by Valentine Dial, Oxford, Eton, and Selfridges.
Lunch. A feast in store. Oh, good evening. Excuse me, my dear. I don't know. Just a moment. I don't know whether the story I'm going to tell you is true or not, but at least it's ben trovato. It appears that there was a man about 1899, that's right, 1899. And this man, who was a fairly well-off banker, was standing in the Mall, oh dear. There, that's better. Very good tobacco. I have it blended for me by a little fellow who lives round the corner, keeps a little shop. And, oh yes, where was I? Oh yes, this man was standing in the Mall, refreshing himself against a tree. When he noticed a fellow man who was approaching him from, yes, it was the Admiralty Arch end, approaching him, and this man, whose name was, the first man, that is, of course, the first man, the banker person, he was the Honourable Jeremy Lount. That's right. As a matter of fact, this is, I won this cup here, you know, when I beat him at the meeting. It is rather curious. And so, the Honourable Jeremy said to the man who was approaching, whose name was Pontius Cack. And, you know, Pontius Cack was up at Oxford with me, which I think is the most extraordinary coincidence. These two should meet and he'd been up at Oxford with me. And he said, Now, the Honourable Jeremy Lout said to the man who was approaching, I say, John, who was that lady I saw you with last night? And I must get this right, because it really is extraordinarily funny. Let me see, where was I? Oh, yes. And he said, who was that lady I saw you with last night, John? Do you see? And John Ormond, that is, replied, that was no lady, Jeremy. I'm so sorry. That was no lady. That was my wife, Mrs. Ormond, whom you may remember I married last year.
Did you know that the Valentine dial kills 99% of all known jokes?
Hello. This is Mr. Richard Balls. Mr. Richard Balls is an assistant trainee vicar's mate. Until last year, he was like any normal assistant trainee vicar's mate. But in January of this year, a very unusual thing happened. Mr. Balls, could you tell us in your own words exactly what happened?
Yes.
Well, will you tell us then?
What, sir?
What happened?
What happened, sir? You want to know what happened, sir?
That's right. Could you tell us what happened?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I started to subside, sir. That's one of them now, you see.
He started to subside.
Get the aspirins, darling. But yes, but it started with the me arches started to go. Then me shins shattered.
Yes.
My knees goed, and then it started sort of slow. It started slow and got up to get very fast. It's got very fast this week, especially.
I see. Could you tell us, did you see a doctor?
Yes, yes, but he put us onto a building contractor.
I see. And what did the building contractor say to you?
Well, he said he couldn't stop me going for good, but he could shore me up to last me over to Christmas.
I see. And did he?
No. The estimate was too high. He wanted to put me up some scaffolding, you see.
I see. Now, a question to your wife. Mrs. Ball, tell me, how is this affecting your life?
It's not affecting my life. It's affecting his.
I see, but medical contractors say that he hasn't got long to go.
Yes, but he's had a good life. Do you know, in 1929, he won a bottle of port in a raffle.
Yes, would you like a glass of it before I go?
Later, thank you, later. Now, what about your future plans, Mrs. Ball?
Oh, well, I shall get married again, of course, as soon as he's gone.
I see.
Dick? Dick? Have you gone?
From Mr. Richard Balls, it's good night.
This year, the BBC, as usual, entered for the Montreux Festival. Now, to date, British comedy entries have been fairly successful, but of course, we have had our failures. And the big question this year was, could our comedy team survive the rigorous competition of the Eurovision comedy teams, and would performing at that height have an adverse effect on our players? Now, the British comedy team has just flown back from Montreux. They are in the studio where they came slowly winning, as you know, after being in the lead until the last 5 minutes. And first of all, we have the captain, Spike Milligan.
Good evening.
John Bluthal. Salubrious Lane.
Hello.
And Ray Ellington.
Hello there.
Now, congratulations and hard luck. Before we discuss the show, let us see a replay of that last vital 5 minutes with England only 10 goals down on Italy and fighting against the clock.
This now, very slow play, and he's going to Bluthal, and he's got it. It's a wonderful block, please. It's an absolute magnificent laugh for England. A beautiful laugh. A beautiful laugh. Nobody knew what was coming. And it's Milligan did a second big laugh within 5 minutes. This is a wonderful stop by England. Early on in the day, Milligan had to take oxygen because of the high altitude, but apparently it's paid off because he's been in magnificent form all the way through the game. Now that's Bluthal. Now he's building up to one of the bus gags. He did one in the first half. It's a beautiful bus gag, and the crowd loved it.
Has Bluthel on the right there, and what's he going to do? Oh, he's thrown the bucket of whitewash. Oh, but Julia Beck, no, I don't think that. Oh, no, the crowd didn't like it. No, the crowd didn't like it. It was very silly of Bluthel. There's one thing the crowds that they don't like is to interfere with the woman in the sketch. She's supposed to be kept entirely alone. All the buckets of paint should be thrown on him. He's getting very angry. Now, this is not going to do him very good, and he doesn't want to go off. Ellington's chastising him, saying, get off. But Bluthel's adamant he won't go off, and might have his name taken. And it'll be the first time in this comedy sketch for the whole of the season. Oh, this is very bad for England. This is very silly for Bluthel. This won't get him anywhere. Milligan's outraged by it all, and the substitute's been sent on. It's Harry Max, the young 23-year-old comic. Oh, this is all great stuff. Oh, the crowd are loving this. They're loving this. They've seen him forward. This is so beautifully done this time. And, of course, all those who have colour sets will get the full magnitude of this comedy. He's doing the constrained laugh, the gradual slow build-up. Now the crowd know what's going to happen, and they burst the laugh. Lovely laugh late in the sketch. There he goes. First big fall of the evening into the bucket, and it's a great disappearance. The crowd loved it. They're roaring with laughter. Roaring with laughter now. This is all wonderful stuff by England. They really should be getting the points in now. Stuff. The police are getting the crowd off the field, but this really has been great stuff for England. It really could be a winner.
Well, as we all know, England went on to lose to West Germany in the quarter-final. Now, Spike, you captained the team. What happened?
Well, it was one of those things, you know, David. When we started off very good, we had two trial runs of that sketch in the morning, and we were very confident. And as you know, in the first half, we were getting the laughs all the way through. But,
but in the second half, you seemed to lose them.
Well, you can't win them all, can you? I mean,
well, let us see again that very first laugh, which we all agree was a real beauty. Spike, talk us through it.
Right. Now, you see that's me on the right there, and I've just put my hand in between John Bluthel's legs open, getting a cheap laugh. Didn't come off. So I thought, right, I'll go for the bucket of slop right in the geezer's face.
That's right, yes.
So now, what happened was, John Blufell, that's the bloke with a white hat in the middle, he wasn't ready for it, you see. So I had to back away and say to him, get ready for it, you twit. See, under my breath. So he's looking at me, and he thinks he's going to get it, but he suddenly realises it's for him, so he ducks, and he goes straight to old Ellington, and he cops it first. And he didn't know it was coming, you see. He was very annoyed, but it got a wonderful laugh.
Oh, yeah.
Wonderful laugh all the way through.
That really was a great start for England. Now, Ray, what did you feel about that in your first appearance for England?
Oh, it was great. I knew Spike was more experienced, so I marked him all the way. I had a feeling what type of laugh he was going for, so I just waited, passed him to paint, and bam!
Now, John, this wasn't a happy occasion for you, was it?
Oh, we don't talk about that.
Well, I wouldn't say that, David. Naturally, I mean, I tried.
Now, let us see that incident now that caused you all the trouble.
Well, you see, what happened was, originally, you see, playing in a foreign country, you don't realise that to spray a bird with white paint, well, the froggies they take umbrage for that sort of thing. Well, see, immediately I'd done that, I knew that I'd boobed, see?
Right, I thought Michael Mills was quite wrong sending John off,
yeah,
you know. They destroyed our morale. I mean, it's not good for morale, that sort of thing, and the substitute hardly got a look in. He only had 30 seconds to go, didn't he?
Well, yes, well, there we are. England out of the Montreux Festival, but now let us see that film of the British comedy team receiving their runners-up awards from Princess Julia of Yugoslavia.
and the British. I'd like to say that I'd like to declare the 24th Annual General Meeting of the Incorporated Clemency Organisation here today at the Directors. In opening the speech, I'd like to just a song at twilight, when the lights are low, and the flickering of shadows softly come and go. Though the heart may weary and the day still the last sun's rise comes the dawn, comes the sorrow, sweet song. Thank you. Mr. Chairman, will you take the chair now?
Now our Treasurer will make a report on the financial state of the company.
Yeah.
Very good. Now, gentlemen, I'd like to go on about the mutual loan. We have £10 million in which we can...
So let's go straight to our next object, please.
This is a modern English Sunday lunch, made in London circa 1970. Chef unknown.
I think it's you first to appraise this, Eleanor.
From a distance I thought it was food, but now I see it close too. Yes, yes, look, this is a potato, surely. And Yorkshire pudding. Well, it's funny, it's the sort of thing I usually like very much, food, but there's too much starch there for me.
Too much for you. What about you, Edward?
Well, I agree with Eleanor. It's food. Not particularly English. I've seen the same thing in Wales and Scotland. There don't appear to be any teeth marks, so I suppose it's quite new. Unless, of course, it's been kept hidden somewhere for a long time. It looks to me very much as if it might have come from the Woolwich Dockyard Canteen. Oh, I would say 1939-ish.
Ish, yes, well, maybe. And without marks, nowhere. What do you think, expert Spike?
It's a straightforward affair. It's a British meal. Could be lunch, dinner, tea, or breakfast. They all taste the same. Meat looks like leather. Wait a minute, it is leather. That puts a distant conflicts on. This could be a food-shaped boot for a one-legged leather pervert. English, no particular date or English.
Arthur, what do you say about this?
Well, I agree with most what everyone has said. This is, in fact, a copy. This is a copy of a very well-known group, the old roast beef group. But you see, Spike, it's a copy. Look at the way the thing is framed up. And you see, the glaze is all craze. It's been put in the oven, and there's no life in the thing. It's 20th century.
Well, despite, yes, you're thinking it's a copy, do value it as original, would you please? 20th century original, of course. And it's your first go, Edward. What would you give for it? Or
I would think about 12 and 6.
12 and 6, says Edward. What am I bid by you, Eleanor?
Well, I certainly wouldn't give more than 12 and 6 for it myself, but people do pay ridiculous prices for Yorkshire pudding. I'd say 18 shillings.
18 shillings, you'd go as far as... Well, in fact, they say £3. Up! We did have time for a quickie. What do you make of this, Spike?
I'd say this is a contemporary Jamaican criminal.
Good evening. I've been watching the television, and I've been thinking about that fellow Alf Garnett and the word that he brought to us, i.e. the word bloody. Now, I'm very glad that the BBC Corporation allowed that word to be said, because in the way of speaking, he liberated that word, bloody. The word bloody has been liberated. It has been snatched from the barroom, the brothel, and the barrack room, and brought into the home where it belongs. Bloody. The word bloody is now part of our life. I want you to feel free to use that bloody word whenever you like. I was reading the bloody Bible recently, and I came across Paul's epistle to the bloody Corinthians. And he said, "Ye that planteth corn when the bloody sun not be in the sky, yea, verily, ye must all be bloody mad." Amen. Well, I'll wish you all a bloody good night.
What silly sod left that?
And here's a late weather report. The temperature in Upper Dicker is 3 degrees. There's a late news report here. This morning in Neasden, a woman's head exploded. 2 IRA men are helping the police with their inquiry. And that's all for tonight. Good night and thank you.